Hey guys, Thunderstruck MTB here, coming at you today from a snowy and rainy SoCal high desert. Pretty cool. Today is going to be a look at some flat pedals. This is not going to be a flats versus clips debate. We'll leave that for GMBN or somebody else. So this is just flat pedals, and which flat pedals exactly? Well, that's my brand new Tenant Omen version 2 pedals. So yeah, these just came in. They are brand new, installed, have not been ridden yet because of, well, this situation going on, which was my surgery. I get my stitches out tomorrow, and I'm hoping to be back on the bike here maybe in another 1 or 2 weeks. We shall see what the doctor says. There'll be a whole video on that hand issue coming up here. But anyway, back to what we're here for. And that is the version 2 Tenant Omen pedals. So I am a flat pedal only rider, 100%. It's just me. My favorite pedals before this were the 1-Up aluminum pedals. Even though those are convex, thicker in the middle than the leading edges, I got along with those really well and rode those for a couple of years. And you're thinking, well, why did I switch then? Well, I switched because I ended up going with some carbon cranks, and unfortunately, the 1-Ups in their design, they do not work with carbon crank with the crank boots, and I wasn't about to run expensive carbon cranks without crank boots. So that entered the version 1 Tenant Occult that I had for 2 years. So to give you an idea of pedals that I've used and tried over the last few years, Chromag Scarab, Chromag Contact, Raceface Atlas 1, Raceface Atlas 2, Hope F20s, VP Harrier, Crank Brothers Stamp 3, and then of course, like I talked about, my 1-Up aluminums ended up being my favorites, and that entered the Occults here. So we'll talk about the Occults and their big beautiful sister, the Omens. So what are the difference between these two? Here are the differences. Is the internals, the spindle, the seals, the bearings, the bushings, the pins are all 100% exactly the same. The dimensions of the pedal body, 100% the same. This one here is the cheaper one. This one here is a more expensive one. So the cheaper one, the pedal body is extruded and then post-CNC'd, and that's all done offshore. I'm guessing probably Taiwan. I don't know for sure, but somewhere in the East. And they extrude it, they post-CNC it, they anodize it, they laser etch it, and they assemble the entire thing there and then ship an assembled pedal back to Tenant in Bellingham, Washington. Tenant's a small rider-owned company doing some really good things. This guy here, the pedal body is forged. It is then CNC'd 100% in Bellingham, Washington. It is then anodized and laser etched. Also here in the States, I believe they send them to like Idaho or Utah or something like that. But it's all done here in the States. And then once it's anodized, it's sent back to Tenant in Bellingham, Washington, where they are then hand assembled. So at the end of the day, it's sort of that. They have a nicer look. Since this is just an extruded piece of aluminum, the finish is good for a pedal. Finish over here is freaking next level. They offer black, they offer this gunmetal, they offer a purple, and they offer, I guess, kind of a gold that would go with like a Kashima Fox fork or shock, is the colors that they offer. And yeah, at the end of the day, this one's going to be cheaper. Offshore, here we're supporting, you know, United States and Made in America and all that good stuff, and it's never cheap, right? So it's nice to be able to do that when you can. You just kind of pick your battles, and when I can do it, I do. And this was one of those times. So those are the differences between the two pedals, but there's also more differences. So this Tenant Occult is also a version 1. So what they found is this seal right here. This seal in between here and the pedal body on the version 1, this one, it just rested up against the pedal body. didn't go in and seal, and they were having some water ingress, I guess, and wetter parts and stuff that they weren't happy with, they being Tenet. So for the new version, version 2, it's a completely redesigned seal there. Completely redesigned, actually sticks now into the pedal body some, kind of like a Hope F20 does. And they upped the spindle by 1 millimeter from 10 millimeters to 11, a stronger spindle. And they made the 3 bearings on the outside larger on this one. So completely new internals on the version 2 than the version 1. No differences in the actual pedal body at all. It's all hidden, all in the internals and some of the tests. So the version 1 pedals, whether they were the Occults or the Omens, they were ISO certified, which I believe all pedals have to be here in the United States, and that's kind of a minimum certification. These pedals, the new version 2s, not only are ISO certified, but they are EFBE Gravity Tri-Test certified. No, I didn't memorize that. It's written over there in the trash can. And I guess that's a way harder thing to pass. And they went ahead and passed out for like bent spindles and things like that. So a much stouter pedal for the version 2, whether you opt for the new version 2 Occults, or you step up and you go with the highest end Omens here like these are for the version 2s. You can get them straight from Tenet. I'm going to leave a link in the description of the video. I got them straight from Tenet. I live in California. It was real nice. They ship for free, and I did not pay tax. That's a big deal, not paying tax. You can also get them. I've seen them at fanaticbikeco.com and maybe like Thunder Mountain Bikes in Sedona. But they don't, you can't get them at Jensen, you can't get them at Worldwide Cyclery, certainly not Amazon, nothing like that. I recommend going straight to Tenant, get them while the getting's good. They do sell out, and once they sell out, they're out for months. I ordered these September 27th of last year, and I received them just right after I had my surgery, just about, 10 days ago, 2 weeks ago, something like that. So that's how long they were out of stock on that. So weight-wise, the Tenant Occults, the cheaper ones, they're a little bit, they have more openings on the end. See, they're kind of open on the end and like this. These are a little beefier, on the way they did stuff. The back end there's kind of sealed compared to where it's kind of opened on the back end. Dang it. Back end there. So the more expensive ones, way more. How often do you see that in stuff? Not very, right? So again, the more expensive Omens, they weigh more. These were 452 grams on my scale. These here were 418. And I literally could not care less if I humanly tried to care less. So yeah, as for dimensions, they are 110 by 105 millimeters, and they have a true concavity, or concavity by 2 millimeters. So the middle is skinnier than the ends. To where on the 1-ups, the middle was thicker than the leading edges, and they called it concave by putting pins on here. They were still pretty comfortable, but these are far and away the most comfortable pedal I have ever used for me, bar none. The best traction and far and away the best pedal. So they ship with the sharp pins that I have installed. They also ship with these grub pins. If you like that duller sort of feel, they ship with the extra pointy sharp guys that I put in. So I got a handful of extras, and they got the thin walled socket for maintaining them. They offer a refresh program where you send them back in the first year and you pay shipping both ways, and they will refresh your pedal. And I think that's it. They'll put like new bearings, and anything broken, they'll refresh and do that. You can also then spend, I think, $30 and shipping both ways, and they'll put everything new in except for the actual pedal body, new spindles, new everything. So $20 to get it up and back, $10 each way, 30 bucks, so $50. You have brand new internals, everything else, not a bad deal, right? So Are they expensive? Hell yeah. Can you buy nylon or composite pedals for a third the price? Yep, you sure can. And there's nothing wrong with that. Those of you that love those, you guys do you. I get it. I like the aluminum stuff myself. Bigger rider, 200 and, geez, I haven't ridden in like 3 weeks, so probably like 216 now. Bigger rider, even though I don't huck the flat or anything else, I still want the most, toughest product that I can get. So they work really well with crank boots, obviously. They have a nice wider Q factor than did those one-up aluminum ones. I kind of like that wide Q factor. Q factor is how wide the center of your pedal is off of the crank arm. I like a little wider. I guess I got a little wider bone structure, whatever. But yeah, like I said, they are awesome in every way. Even though I haven't spun these yet, I know what they're going to feel like. These other ones over here were absolutely bulletproof. For those of you that service your own pedals, it does not get easier than this. The one-ups you have to actually take off and then get a cassette tool in here with no pin and take off, but you had to take them off the bike. These here, you can leave on the bike. 6mm end cap, comes right off, standard thread. All the threads on them are standard thread, meaning just, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. So you take that 6mm off, that's an end cap, and inside there, you use the socket that's provided, and you take off a retaining nut inside there, and you just pull the whole pedal body off. You clean up the spindle, clean up the seal, use a Q-tip, clean up on the inside there, throw some grease back on, put it back on, you are done, good to go. And it doesn't get a whole lot easier than that to service the pedals. So again, guys, this is probably far and away one of my favorite companies. I love what they're doing. I love how they're keeping things in-house up there if you want that option. I love how they're going cheaper and building to a price point if you like that option. I just love what they're doing. They also make stems, they make bars. Of course, this is me. I'm in no way, shape, or form affiliated with them at all. I just like supporting the small guys versus the big guys. And I'm going to also leave a link from the new Vital MTB pedal test that came out, ironically, like yesterday or the day before. And they gave Occult, the Occults, the new version 2, they gave those 4th place out of all the pedals that they tested. And they tested a whole crap load and they awarded them 4th place. So yeah, it isn't just me thinking they are badass. So anyway, guys, there you go. There's sort of a, I guess we're going to call it a first look. I'm going to come back at this towards the end of summer here, the end of the year. I expect nothing but hey, everything works great. They'll be all banged up looking, and I expect no issues at all with durability, just like my first set that I had for almost 2 years, and serviced probably twice because it's so easy to do. Other than that, we got some new parts on the bike. We may have a new flow lever installed in my Dior's. We may have some new XO1 carbon cranks to talk about. We already talked about the pedals. We may have some stuff coming up. And you want to try something fun? Try putting those things on with frickin' Frankenstein hand when you're right-handed over here, and try doing that. That was a lot of fun. So anyway, look for those videos coming up. Videos will be a little bit later while I still heal, and then we'll get back to some riding where I can say, hey, I actually put these on the trail for 3, 4, 5 rides, and here's what I'm feeling. So other than that, guys, gals, if you have any questions, hit me up in the comments. Look for some links in the show more section there on where to buy the pedals and the vital test I talked about. And again, guys, I thank you for watching. See ya.